Hey guys, Nathan here. Today I'm going to teach you how to make poker your side hustle, making anywhere between about $200 a month and $1,000 a month. Now, a lot of you guys already know my story. I started off playing in low stakes poker games like a lot of you guys do right now. I actually started with only around $50 in my bankroll at the 1 cent, 2 cent cash games online, and slowly but surely over the course of about a year or so I was able to move up the stakes and eventually quit my job, start traveling the world, started coaching many people, started writing for some big poker publications online, and eventually wrote 3 books on the game as well. But what a lot of people don't know is that for a significant amount of that time, roughly around a year, poker was just a side hustle for me. So I do have a lot of experience with that, playing poker on the side, and I'm gonna help you guys with that in this video. All right, so let's start with a small amount of money, around $200 a month from poker as your side hustle. Is that doable? How easy is that going to be for a beginner? I would say for most people who are just starting out the game right now, you should be able to do this probably within a month or two. You're gonna want to learn a basic, tight, and aggressive strategy like I always talk about in these videos and my books on my poker blog. And that's going to basically involve playing a relatively tight style pre-flop. I recommend about 15% of your hands if you play full ring and about 20% if you play 6-max. I do have a free poker cheat sheet with actual charts that show you which hands to play. I'm gonna include that, it'll be the top link in the description below. But basically you just want a bare bones strategy which is going to help you succeed at the lower stakes. Now, what games specifically should you be playing in order to make around $200 a month as your poker side hustle? Well, I think you can do this with consistent play at the very lowest limits. So I'm talking about stakes like 1 cent, 2 cent cash games online, maybe a $2 or a $5 tournament buy-in if you play tournaments, or around a $1, $2 cash game if you play live. With consistent play, and like I said, learning a bare bones strategy like I teach in my free poker guide, I think that a relative beginner to the game can probably make about $200 a month with poker as a side hustle within a month or two. All right, so let's bump it up a bit to around $500 a month. How difficult or easy is this going to be for a relative beginner to make with poker as your side hustle? Well, it's going to get a little bit more difficult at this point because you're going to have to play a little bit higher stakes games against some better players. You know, I would recommend playing about 5 cent, 10 cent blind cash games if you play online, maybe a $5, $10 tournament buy-in, or maybe a $2, $5 cash game if you play live. You're going to encounter some better players in these games. The bare bones, tight and aggressive strategy that I already discussed, that will work against these players, but if you really want to get ahead in these games, you're going to have to start studying a little bit more advanced material. I've talked about this kind of stuff a lot in videos on this channel. For instance, I recently made a video talking about how to make wide multi-street call downs against aggressive regulars. I'll put a link to that right here. You're going to have to learn some more advanced kind of stuff like that. But once again, for somebody who is a relative beginner right now, who's willing to play consistently, put in the hours, and do a little bit of study on the side, watching videos like this, for instance, I do think that making around $500 a month from poker as your side hustle is probably doable within around 3 to 4 months. All right, so let's bump it up to about $1,000 a month from poker as your side hustle. How difficult or easy will that be? Well, now you're going to have to start playing some relatively decent stakes, probably about a 10 cent, 25 cent blinds online, maybe a 25 cent, 50 cent, maybe about $10 tournaments if you play online, and maybe a $2, $5, or a $5, $10 cash game if you play live. Now, you're going to start encountering some better players in these games. You're going to start encountering for the first time some players that are also playing poker as a significant side income, and even some players who are playing the game professionally at these stakes. So you're going to have to learn a little bit more advanced stuff at this point. You're going to have to start learning some real exploitative strategies versus the weaker players in particular. Talking about how to bluff scare cards on the turn and the river, for instance. This is stuff that I talk about a lot in my poker books and on some of the videos on this channel. And you might want to start studying some more GTO or even getting an introduction to solvers on the side as well. You also might want to consider hiring a coach to help you specifically once you get to the stakes. Now, lastly, you're also gonna have to start working on your mental game once you get to these stakes, because it's just not gonna be possible for you to tilt away your winnings like you can still maybe get away with at the lower stakes. Once you're playing in higher stakes games, you're not going to find as many weak spots at the table. It is going to be absolutely crucially important that you learn how to be stronger mentally than your competition And that is why I'm such a big proponent of stuff like fitness, meditation, eating right, getting proper sleep, and all of that kind of good stuff. You're really gonna have to take a holistic approach to the game at these stakes and start taking the game really seriously, and of course playing consistently if you wanna make $1,000 or more as a side income from poker. Now, as I've been discussing throughout, I think that in order to be successful with poker as your side income, one of the most important things to do is going to be to play poker consistently. So in my first year, before I quit my job and played poker professionally, my routine was I would go work at my 9 to 5, 5 days a week like most people do. And then when I got home, it was typically about 3 to 4 hours of me playing poker every single night. And on the weekends, I was typically playing 8 hours or more. So this is really all to say that if you want to be successful with poker as your side hustle, you have to prioritize it. Now, I'm not telling you to ignore your wife or kids if you've got something, you've got a family or anything, but you definitely have to make poker a priority. So this is gonna mean you're gonna have to remove the Netflix, the video games, whatever else that you're currently placing a priority sometimes above poker. That can't happen anymore. So really the biggest thing, guys, if you want to consistently improve in poker and make a consistent side income from this game, as I cannot stress it enough, is that consistency is the key to success. It is the reason why after a year I was able to quit my job. I was basically playing every single night because I had a clear goal of not only making a solid side income from poker, but eventually turning it into a full-time income as well. And I was able to do that. And the biggest key to my success with that was absolutely consistent play. So that's about all I got for this video, guys. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys that are looking to make a sort of a reasonable side income from the game, make poker your side hustle. Like I always talk about in these videos, poker's not the easiest game in the world to win at these days. Most people actually lose in the long run, but it is still a viable way for somebody who is relatively seriously about the games, who, as I mentioned, is going to put in the hours at the tables and also away from the tables, studying and improving their game, and programs like Poker Tracker, watching videos like this, or reading poker books, or studying poker training courses. I do think that for somebody who takes the game seriously like this, which I assume you are if you're watching this video, you can make a relatively decent side income from the game. And let's face it, $200, $500, $1,000, it's nothing to sneeze at. That's definitely a nice side income for a lot of people. And as I always say, most people that are playing poker, you play it for fun. That's the reason you started playing in the first place, so why not make some money from it, right? It's a lot more fun if you're making a profit from it as well. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you make a side income with poker? Or are you looking to make poker your side hustle? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And lastly, if you guys found this video helpful, make sure you give it a like and also subscribe to my channel, as I'm putting out new videos just like this to help you guys out in small stakes games all the time. In fact, I'll put a couple recent ones that I made here on the screen that I think will help you guys out some more. So thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you next week. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRain79.com.